Had my mic muted. Glad I was checking. Usually I don't bother to do that. So, so yep. All right, I'm live. Okay. All right. I'm gonna make a stream yard and get that link posted real quick, and then I'll start finishing my sculpt. I've already started it. Been working on it somewhat today. All right, got that done. So I was looking at lady named Deviant Outcast and her avatar, and I thought I liked. She has this um, a sculpture of Bast as her avatar, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I don't have anything I want to particularly want to sculpt tonight, so I thought maybe I'd try that. So we'll see. So I did already start it. I didn't I'm not starting from scratch today. I've worked on it a little bit. So there's the beginning of it. And let me bring up my reference again. Okay, there we go. So, and until someone shows up, might just talk about a few things. Um, so, and this is something I came across a while ago, and I've been thinking about, and I don't really have a solution for it, so I'm just going to kind of ramble and see if I can think through, come up with my thoughts on it. I haven't done any like look looked into what philosophers say about this, uh, and I probably should, and I probably will after in at some point. But wanted to kind of get my thoughts together on it anyway. So what it is the idea that truth is that which comports with reality, and I agree with that in general. That seems like a pretty good um, definition for truth. But then you come up with the statement, something like, um, say, is it true that Spider Man's name is Peter Parker? And the thing is, well, I mean, yeah, that is kind of true, but also that doesn't comport with reality because Spider Man doesn't exist, and neither does Peter Parker. So it's truth is not just there's more to it than just that which comports with reality. And so I'm thinking about this, and I think, you know, maybe it should be more like truth is that which comports with the reality the truth is based in. Maybe something like that. Because like like I said, Spider-Man Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker. But then there's also other Spider-Man stories where his name isn't, where Spider-Man is not Peter Parker. And so, sorry about that. My son was making a racket. Anyway, so truth isn't always that, or truth is, that which comports with the reality that the truth resides in, I guess. And that allows you to say, uh, both Peter Parker's or Spider Man's name is Peter Parker, if the story is set, if you're talking about a story where that's what Peter Parker's name is, but it's also it's not true that Peter Parker's name is, or Spider Man's name is Peter Parker. If you're talking about a story where it's one of the other Spider Man, and also it allows you to say that, well, in reality, or it's true that Spider Man doesn't exist, because that's also true. So I think I'm going with that definition of truth. It's just modify it slightly. Truth is that which comports with the reality in which the truth resides. So there's that. I don't really have anything else to talk about. So I'm just going to start doing nothing but sculpting and see if anybody else shows up. I need to look up some more reference images for jawline. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. So one thing when I'm sculpting, I like to I use the clay strips brush a lot to to do most of my like bulk shapes. It seems to be pretty good at like adding adding and taking away mass, and that and so I'll lay a few strips down and then I will smooth it out as needed. And like a lot of people, most people actually say you should have a graphics tablet when you're sculpting. And I've tried a graphics tablet. I didn't like it myself. Um, it it just, I mean, I'd gone so long without it. Maybe it just was a matter of getting used to it. But I found that it didn't come as intuitive to me. It did have some things that were nice, like the ability to change how strength the strength of a stroke or something in the middle of the stroke. But for the most part, it just I felt like well, one big thing it was is like it was awkward to have the graphics tablet and be able to use hotkeys, and so like it felt like it was slowing me down because I'd have to like go back to the I'd have to take my hand away and stuff to go to the keyboard to do a hotkey, and that just felt like it was making it slower. But I still kept it. I kept on trying it. But then my daughter, turns out she's like way better at drawing than I will ever be. And I was like, oh, maybe she should have my graphics tablet, because I bought her a cheaper graphics tablet, for herself, and but it was not one that has this a second display in it built into it, and so she didn't like it. It didn't work very well for her. But when I saw how good she was at sketching and stuff, I was like, well, hey, do you want this graphics tablet? You'll probably make more use of it than I would. So and she said she did. So I gave her my graphics tablet, and I'm back to using the mouse, which I was using anyway. So, and sometimes it'd be nice because, like, with a clay strip, like if I do that, um, you can, with a graphics tablet, you can like vary how thick it lays on that that strip with a graphics tablet through the stroke. But for me, it just, I don't know, it just didn't, it wasn't working. Hey, missing mod, how are you? Can you hear me? Or have I been talking to myself the whole time? Yes. Um, I was looking at Deviant's avatar, and I was like, hey, I should do a cat. Good deal. How are you today? Thanks. I started it before Christian Pike started his stream. I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling a little uh, lazy because the it's been raining here all weekend, and I didn't get to ride yesterday, and like today, my wife is at a concert in about an hour and a half away, and she had to leave right about the time the roads were going to be drying up, so I didn't get to ride today either. So, but it is what it is. I you can't do that every day. I try, but obviously that's an unrealistic expectation. Well, I mean, so I keep track of like how many days in a row I ride, and it's been like 81 days in a row. So it was probably time for a break. Most people will ride like a couple days a week, maybe three or four at the most. No, I do not sleep good at all. You'd think I would, but nope. So, are you going to stream tomorrow? Um, I don't know. I've always I've never been much of a sleeper. I've always like late to bed, early riser. So I mean, I imagine that's probably part of it. Now it looks like a mouse. So are you still going to cut down on streaming, or have you decided to keep it up? Okay, well that's good. Did you happen to watch Dan's first stream as the runner of the thing? I guess not, because you were at watching Christian Pike and it was happening at the same time. I don't know. Half of me thinks it's still thinks it's some kind of stunt of some sort. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe for a minute that Achilles was actually missing. I think they knew where he was, what was going. I think that was a trick because who was it? Alex Jones was right or something. Um, said it's fake, and they said, well, Achilles being missing may not be fake, but the Steven stepping down is, which yeah, maybe. But so if Oh, I mean, I've never really considered it a real ministry anyway. It's definitely not got the structure of a real ministry. So, I mean, I know they do, but I just I think they're cosplaying at best as far as that's concerned. But it's fun to watch them hang out with each other and just enjoy each other's company sometimes. And really, that's what they seem to do more than anything else. And when I was a kid, like I don't know, say say 10 or so, I had a spy club, and we were all spies. Um, and you know what? It wasn't really a spy club. We weren't really spies, but it was fun to pretend like we were. So, you know, grown men do the same thing, or grown ups do the same thing sometimes. So, I don't know. I don't fault them for you know trying to do what they're whatever it is that they think they're doing. But and I really think like if they really wanted it to be a ministry, they should get um they should involve Christian Pike. I really think so because I think he could do something with it, but he's kind of doing his own thing too. So and like I don't they do not like him because of the the predestination stuff. Speaking of predestination, and I really wish I could get a hold of Bruce. Or I wish I'd run across Bruce sometime. I'd really like to talk to him because I think I know what he could do that would be better. Oh, he doesn't like you? I didn't know that. Never picked up on that at least. So yeah, but the problem with Bruce, I'm not. If I'm not like going to force it because he's not going to listen to me anyway because I'm a dirty atheist or whatever. But I think I have some ideas that would help him, you know, be more persuasive with his ideas. And all boils down to he just talks at people. He says he does things like, well, you're wrong, and that's it. He doesn't he's you're wrong because my interpretation of the Bible is different or whatever. And what he needs to do, in my opinion anyway, is like find out like for Mark, he needs to find out, hey, instead of just telling Mark, hey, you're wrong, he needs to say, hey, Mark, what has convinced you of this thing? What? Tell me your reasons for that, um, and then look at those reasons and say, okay, well, this reason is wrong. Well, I don't know. I've never seen him interact with atheists other than him saying, well, actually, I don't know if I've ever seen him interact with an atheist, but I get the feeling the way he treats people he disagrees with that it would not he would just not ever listen to them. But anyway, what he needs to do is he needs to go to Mark and say, "Hey, um, instead of telling, uh, oh yeah, well, I mean that's true, but Aiden's like that to everyone, and like I don't know, I think Aiden's. I've seen Aiden a few times like actually engage with someone and not just like make fun of them. I have not seen. I might have seen him interact with Aiden. I've never seen him interact with Peter or AJ. I think I would think Peter. He seems like he would have a good interaction with him, but I don't know. But what he needs. So back to what I think he needs to do. He needs to go to Mark and say, "Hey, what are your reasons?" Because all he does is say, um, "Oh, okay, I might check that out." What he does is he says, "You're wrong because I have a different interpretation." Or he says things like, "What about this thing? Like, have you ever seen Jesus come in the clouds or whatever, or something like that? When did Jesus ever come in the clouds?" And like to me, that's something to consider. But if he thinks Mark hasn't already considered that somehow and found an explanation for why that works with what with no, it wasn't predestination, it's his preterism. If he if he doesn't think Mark hasn't already considered that, well, I think he's fooling himself if he thinks that's the case. I'm sure Mark has considered that. And if Mark still says preterism is what he believes, then there's got to be reasons for that. And what he needs to do is figure out what those reasons are and just address those reasons. But like I said, he's not going to listen to me because I'm a dirty atheist, and all I'm doing is trying to sow discord or whatever. So, but at least to get have a chance to try to talk to him about that and see if I can get him to stop being so angry because that's not healthy for him. Well, I mean, if he, I think I think I can do that. I mean, I think I can get people to talk to me if they'll at least give me the chance to. But I don't know if he does. The way he talks about other things makes me whether he says that out loud, it feels like something he would think. There's some things you just don't say the quiet parts out loud, but you still do think of it, and that seems like something he would think. Just based on what I've seen of his interactions with other people. No, it's kind of like, the first time I talked to Lupin, he wouldn't believe anything I said because I'm an atheist and atheists lie. And it's like, you know, I'm saying I'm using a word and you don't know the meaning of this word. And instead of asking me what I mean by that, you're just going to look up the definition as if the definition of that word has anything to do with what I'm saying. Now, it might, if I'm using the word correctly, it does. But if I'm incorrect about the definition, then it doesn't matter what the definition is. It's what I'm saying. What do I mean by that? That's really what matters because the definition doesn't have anything to do with the concept that's in my brain that I'm trying to communicate to you. But instead of letting me try to explain myself, he wanted to go look it up on Google. So, you know, I'm in a way, yeah, I guess I don't know if he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. What I do think is that he thinks he's smarter than everyone thinks he is, which I think maybe he's right. People treat him like he's pretty not smart a lot, make fun of him, but I don't know. He seems pretty. He has some insights that I think people don't give him credit for. And so like that what you're reading is that might to me might be just he knows people aren't giving him the credit for the things that he is being smart about, and he's overcompensating for that. And there is also the I mean when you're when you have an inferiority complex, and it's possible, I don't know that he has one, but if he has one, when you have an inferiority complex, you often overcompensate for that inferiority complex, even though uh, the complex may be unwarranted in the first place, but you'll still act like it, act in relation to how you view yourself anyway. And so there could be some of that too. But I don't think Lupin is as at least in my interactions, and like I mean I've only had a few interactions, but my interactions with him, he hasn't been as I don't know what that means. Oh, okay, I didn't see her that much. He talks down to me, that aggravates me. Okay, so I could see that. I mean, so that to me would be not so much not so much him thinking he's so smart. I could see him being pretty sexist. That does seem like something that seems like it would be in character with him for him, and it could come across as him thinking he's smarter, but that's just because you're a woman. Which I'm not saying that he shouldn't do that. That's wrong. But I would probably chalk that up to being him being sexist more than thinking you're not smart, or that he's smarter than you or anything like that. Well, Not, I mean, I take that back. Okay, he's smarter than you, but not because he's smart, but because you're a woman. That's, I guess, how that would would fall out. You know, um, I think I saw part of that. I can't remember. I saw part of that stream, and yeah, that was, I don't know. It was weird because, but yeah, I agree. That's, they were not doing great with that. And like, as far as Stump is concerned, I've never interacted with him at all. I think he'd be another one of those that's like, I'm a dirty atheist and not going to pay attention to me because of that. Oh, in like 15 minutes, 9:30 your time. I assume it is. Well, I think I've just about got this anyway, so I might end this soon and go watch that. Did Susan from? I don't know who that is. But before you leave, uh, oh yeah, I've never heard of that show. So before you leave, um, oh, no sign of intelligent life. Oh, okay, that's not Susan's. Oh, no, Google owns YouTube. I don't know who Susan is, but Google owns YouTube. At least they did. Maybe they sold it. Um. So, about last night's stream with Lupin. Um. One thing I heard. Uh. Is that someone might have a crush on Terry, and the stream was more about that. Oh, yeah, I didn't know she had a show uh till last night anyway. I thought I didn't I'd seen her on your show and that was it. I was just like, okay, that's kind of she's kind of got some interesting ideas sometimes. Cool. Maybe I'll go check that out. I've only seen her on your show. It'd be interesting to see what she talks about when she's on her own show. Plus, I could watch what Lupin does over there. What kind of book? Oh yeah. Well, I always go by the motto that how not to be a boy. Okay. I always go by the motto that if I'm doing it online, someone can find out about it. Right? Yeah, I figured. Um, and so right, yeah. Um, if I don't want anyone to know something, I don't. I make sure I don't put that anywhere, at least anywhere public online. I might keep it under a password or something. But if I put it out public, it's going to be there for someone to find. So, and I assume if anyone's interested in finding it, they will. Well, I'm happy with this. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? All right. Well, I'm going to shut it down, and I'll probably check in on Terry and then maybe go over to the Proverbs guys. You have a good night. I will see you tomorrow.